back, guys. No, I'm not side dressing corn. By that bare dirt you see out there. This is Replant 2024. We ain't got a lot of corn to replant, but we're having to replant some. Normally I would probably come in here and tear this up, but I don't know, it's just way out of time. I got 300 acres of wheat ready to cut. We're still at 200 acres of, well, I don't know how many acres of full season beans we lack. More than we should. But it has rained literally every single day. But yeah, I'm in here just spotting this corn in. Still plenty heavy to be doing that, but gotta be doing something, or feel like I gotta be doing something. It's a dang mess. My GPS ain't wanting to act right for some reason. I was gonna let it run things and, you know, talk to y'all about some stuff here, but well, like I'm gonna have to manually drive it. Today is May the 30th. Been a while since I planted any corn this late. Some of the best corn I ever shelled was May the 25th in the bottom. Gotta stand, you ain't gonna make nothing. But yeah, this is my life today, just riding up down these roads, letting the planter up, down, up, down. It's gonna get dark on me. This is a job you don't really need to be in doing in the dark. I had intentions on starting this morning. Robert called about 10 o'clock. He said, front rank is broke on the drill. I was like, oh my gosh, he's shooting me. So I had to go over and weld it up, patch it up, got him back running. Over it. I don't normally complain much, but any other year would be super excited about having wheat ready 2 weeks earlier, because that would mean we was going to get our double crop beans in the ground faster and have a little more yield potential. But not this year. I know I've got some buddies, they don't have a single bean in the ground. And the ones that do have beans in the ground really backed off on their corn acres. I don't know if I had some corn seed right here ready. There's 28 acres over on another farm. I'd probably rip it up and plant it in corn instead of beans. Since I'm back to planting corn. Already had the planter swapped over to plant beans. The original plan was for Robert and me both to plant beans. I was going to take his planter, plant 30-inch row beans in the bottoms. I like 30-inch row beans in them old bottoms. Seems like you get more airflow through them and they push out more. Don't get as big and rank as they do with that dang drill. But it's all we can do, just keep one thing running. And we had a wind blow a big limb down in the corn. Just a mess all the way around. 2024 has not been kind to us so far. Well, I'm finishing up and heading out. You can see where we got a little bit of sprayer blight there. That one row kind of suffering. Just where it was wet when we sprayed it. Imagine that, having to do something on wet ground. Seems to be a common theme this year. But what I wanted to show you right there, what I wanted to show you, them areas in the orange, that's our replant. That's where we had to go in and spot in. So, kind of get an idea of where I spotted in there. Getting dark on me. I'm gonna go to the shop, call Robert, check on Robert.
Oh, Big Betty, welcome home.
He ain't drove a tractor all year, and he suddenly claimed he wants to drive this one.
Imagine that.
her up and throttle back, boys. I can go up to Seeking. 1850. Need a speedometer in there. You know, I really don't think we're gonna have to run it. I think one trip and she's gonna be done. Set it and forget it. It's a way different feeling, boy. You sitting up high. You can't see I hope no Mazda ever stops in front of us, because we won't ever see it. Of course, it would dry. We get this tractor back, of course it would dry up. But you know what? I'm working it down. I ain't spraying this crap again. I done sprayed it twice. to give y'all a little update. This is Dylan's new tractor. 1991 John Deere 8560. 4-wheel drive articulating tractor. This spring has been so wet. We've been needing some extra horsepower, some extra traction to help get some of this ground busted open so it'll actually dry. So we rented the 8310 and it sold, so we was kind of looking for a tractor to replace this one or replace that one. And you could buy a big 4-wheel drive cheaper cheaper than you could a 8000 series tractor. So this one come from the Rickman brothers up in Centralia, Illinois. Me and Daddy and Dylan went up there Sunday afternoon. Left after church, drove up to Clay City, visit some friends, ate supper with them, and then Monday morning we drove to Centralia and looked at the tractor, and Dylan bought it. It was actually on one of the salesmen's farm. He's a salesman for Rickman Brothers, and him and his brother also farm. And just like everybody else, just needed. They had a tractor go down, and it's just been so wet up there. They just needing some extra horsepower. So the salesman just went and grabbed that tractor off the lot, and they've been using it. So so we got to talk to the farmer, got to talk to the salesman and the farmer, got to drive it around. Of course, it was too wet to get to, run it out in the field, but we did get to drive it around, and Dylan made the deal on the tailgate of that guy's truck, so he bought it. Like I said, it's a 1991 John Deere 8560. Little over 9,000 hours. It is a bareback. That's the only drawback to it. No PTO, no 3-point. You can put a 3-point on them. It's just finding one. But he bought it. The guy delivered it this morning. We wasn't expecting him until around lunch, and he showed up about 10 o'clock. So he showed up at 10 o'clock. We had the tractor unloaded and the duals on it and in the field by 11:45. So that was pretty impressive. He's just about 19 acres with it, and seems to be a pretty good tractor. Is it perfect? No, but I think it's gonna be all right for what we want to do. Mainly, we wanted it that way. We was asking a lot out of our 4650, and we was needing something to kind of help it out, take some of the heavy load off the tillage off of it. So Dylan bought that tractor. We're gonna hook it to the disc, hook it to the dirt pan. We have talked about looking for an 8-row scratcher dewall to put behind it so we could run this spring. It's also talked about looking for a caddy for our ripper and putting the ripper on it if we can't find a 3-point. And he's also talked about getting a disc ripper, so who knows. Only time will tell. It's just a little bit about the 8560. 7.6 liter engine. It's the same engine that's in the 4640s and the 4650. 235 horsepower stock. We kind of think that one might be in the pump. It's been in the pump a little bit, but we're not sure. 18438 Continental tires on it. 3 remotes. The only bad thing about this tractor is, other than the no 3-point and no PTO, is a 12-speed quad range. So you got A, B, C, and D ranges, but only 1, 2, and 3 gears in each range. So not a lot of options, but a pretty simple transmission. But to me, it's amazing that you can buy one of them tractors cheaper than you can an 8000 series. Granted, you're kind of limited on what you can do with them tractors if it don't have a 3-point or a PTO. See, all we'll be able to do with this tractor is tillage, but that's what we bought it for. But I think he's pretty tickled with it. Ought to save our $46.50. We was asking just a little too much out of it, but hopefully that'll take the load off of it. This is the corn we planted April the 1st, and as you can see, we are tasseling. So this corn right here, it ought to make some corn because it's got a lot of rain. Got a little shower on it today, so it ought to make some good corn. Putting some O-rings back here in the SCVs. We got one of them was leaking pretty good. The clutch on the air conditioner gave up yesterday. I asked that boy if the air conditioner worked, and he said, yeah, it worked, probably just need a little Freon. Well, I ran it, and it did work. He said, we run it on some hot days, and I said, well, there's a difference in Tennessee hot days and Illinois hot days. So, as Dylan said, we had to put a new air conditioner compressor on it. There it is right there. And so far, it is blowing some icicles. Cleaned the windows because they was pretty nasty, and I probably still didn't do a good enough job cleaning them, but they're a lot better than it was. They had handprints all over it. Looked like Jack and Rose been in here. But as you can see right there, we added us got a temperature gauge, voltage meter, and a oil pressure gauge. It has a digital temperature gauge, but the guy did tell us that it was going in and out, so we just wanted to put that there just to keep an eye on it. And this tractor didn't have no oil pressure gauge, so who knows if you was getting good oil pressure. So right there we got an oil pressure gauge, so we can keep an eye on it now. And as he said, he's putting O-rings in the SCV, and as far as I know, she should be ready to go after that.